everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to make a little greenhouse cabinet tour. I recently got this IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I can't think of how to say the name, but I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if they still have this particular cabinet. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $60, so I knew I had to snatch it up as soon as I saw it. The person I got it from had like 9 or 12 of them that she was selling, and I know that somebody posted them in our local plant group and all of them were snatched up immediately. Luckily, I got mine before somebody posted about them, so I was able to get one. It was a really good deal and I wanted to show you guys. I haven't done anything special with it yet. It is just in the same condition that I got it in, with the glass shelves, and I just added grow lights. I haven't done anything else to it. So I kind of thought it would be fun to show you guys a tour of it now. And then maybe in a few months, as I add more accessories and stuff, I could show you how everything is set up then. Currently, I pretty much just have Hoya and Dischidia and then a few random plants in there, but they're doing so well. So I wanted to show you guys how it looks right now. And then, like I said, maybe in a few months, if I change anything on it, I can show you like the process of that or whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into my IKEA greenhouse cabinet tour. So I wanted to start by giving you the whole vibe. I have it in my kitchen in the corner, and my house is quite old, so the only plug I have is right here. So down here is where I have everything set up, and I have like a heating pad, and then these are all my lights. And I have this shelf here, obviously, with my Barina T5s. And then in my greenhouse cabinet, I also have Barina T5s, but they're the foot-long ones. So I just use the sticky things that they come with, and so far it's been fine. Nothing's fallen, knock on wood, but I just attach them to each other. So it's a little bit jimmy rigged in here. And then the bottom one, and then this one down here, I had to put on the side because I had to connect it to the light on my shelf here because I don't have any additional plugs. So it's working for how it's set up. And as you can see, all the lights are on like in a different position, but that's totally fine. I have not weather stripped anything, and I don't think I will. Currently we're at 73% humidity. I did just do a little bit of watering in here, but it usually stays around 73 on the low side. But usually when I wake up in the morning, it's around 90 to 93% humidity without weather stripping. So there is a gap on this side and there's a gap on this side. But the back sides of the cabinet are weather stripped. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I guess we can go ahead and open this. But there is some like sealed sides over here. I did not do that, that's how it came. And then my little thing here is from Amazon, and it seems to do the job just fine. But on my first shelf, I basically decided that I was going to move any Hoya into the cabinet that have not grown at all since I've gotten them, or very little since I've gotten them. And then anything that was like a fresh cutting that I needed to transition from my prop box into soil is also in here. So currently I have this Hoya No ID. As you can see, it has finally started growing. I think it's a Hoya diversifolia, but it was sold to me as a No ID. And look at that growth point. That's very exciting that it's starting to grow. My Hoya elliptica is also finally giving me some leaves. I've had this thing forever. I've cut this stem off before, and then it's grown the stem again, and I've never gotten a single leaf, but we might be getting a leaf, guys. I am so excited if I finally do, but I'm not gonna jinx it. I also have my Hoya Daikie in here, which is currently still doing nothing, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll do something eventually because my Nicholsonii that I have here is also finally starting to grow. If you guys can see that little growth point, that is very exciting. I have noticed that this cabinet is doing wonders for my Hoya that have not grown. And this is my Hoya Walliliana green, like just the normal one. And I have cut it, and then I moved it into the cabinet. There's a growth point there, and then there's also another growth point down there. So it's also very much loving the cabinet. My Hoya Finlaysonii Pangaha has 2 growth points that I think are active. You can't really see them quite that well, but I think that it's also really enjoying the cabinet, which is exciting because this one was growing really well and then it stopped, and I really like this plant, so I would love to get more leaves on that. Down here is my Hoya, I'm sorry, this is not a wall liliana, this is a hush liliana, sorry. Hush liliana green, this is my variegated, inner variegated hush liliana, and this one was doing fine. I had it living in a plastic bag as I, you know, transferred it from my prop box, and then I just put it into the cabinet and it's pushing up more growth still, so we're happy with that. This is my Hoya chinguensis, I believe. I just watered it and it's not growing yet, but it's not dead, so I'm happy about that. And then my Hoya graphii, I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. It's not doing anything from what I can tell, but that's okay. Hopefully it will, because I'm very excited about this Hoya. And then moving down to the second shelf, I eventually want to get some like either sticky shelves to put on here or some like a spice rack or something to put on here so I can have multiple levels of Hoya. But I think the most exciting thing happening in the cabinet right now is my Hoya Vitioloides has a growth point, if you guys can see it right there. I have been waiting for this thing to start growing forever, and I put it in the cabinet and it's finally giving me a growth point. So I'm very, very excited about that, as well as my Hoya Pachylicata is also growing. So it's also very much loving the cabinet. That's so exciting. It just started pushing that out within the last 2 days, and excuse the sulfur stains on it. My Hoya Acuta or Hoya verticillata outer variegated is also putting out some vines, and it's also given me 2 peduncles. So that's exciting. No new leaves yet. I would prefer some leaves, I'm not gonna lie. We also have my Hoya parvifolia, I believe, Splash. It might be growing, but I can't quite tell, to be honest. So it's just hanging out. And then my Hoya Hischeliana outer variegated has so much new growth. And this is a fun one because the outer variegation comes in like a light green, and then I assume it's going to fade to a white. But there are so many new growth points in there, so it's definitely loving the cabinet. My Hoya Nicholsonii is starting to grow as well. Look at that fuzzy new growth. Oh my gosh. I'm very, very excited. Everything is just loving this cabinet so much. And then my Hoya Serpens is starting to put out new leaves. Finally, this thing hates my guts, but it loves this cabinet. So I think just maybe we're on the up and up. I have my fingers crossed. And then my Dischidia harusa is giving me a new leaf. I just love this plant so much. It seems to be enjoying the cabinet. This is a Hoya manaparensis. I potted this up into soil and then threw it in the cabinet, and it did have a growth point, but I don't know how that growth point is currently doing, but that's okay. I have faith that it's going to bounce back. This is like a Hoya lacinosa silver something, mint silver. I don't quite know. It's not growing, but it's alive. So that is all I can ask currently. And over here, we have a Hoya Wilbur Graves. It's finally starting to grow. Hopefully we'll get a new leaf soon, but this whole vine is new. And then my Hoya lacinosa Mr. Tent is still not doing anything. And in fact, this bottom leaf right here is yellowing, which is slightly concerning, but I'm just going to leave it alone and hopefully it'll figure itself out. This is apparently a Hoya Cipitigentis, but I don't know if I believe that. And it's starting to finally grow. It was been bad shape for a really long time, but it seems to be enjoying the cabinet quite well. We have a Hoya tinguensis, I think that's what it's called. I don't see any growth points on it yet, but it's a really cute Hoya. It's pretty close to the Hoya Serpens. It's a little bit fuzzy though. We really like that one. So that is everything on my second shelf here. Managed to fit quite a few Hoya on these first 2 shelves. I've had the cabinet open and it's still at 66, so that's pretty good. Let's go down to this third shelf here, which is a bit of a hosh-posh of things. So I have my variegated heartleaf, which I had lots more cuttings than this, but this is the only one that has survived, and it's putting out a new leaf, and I'm really sad that this is the only one that survived, but hopefully we'll have a beautiful plant someday. And then, sorry if you see fungus gnats, I am trying to eradicate that problem, but it is what it is. This is another Dischidia. I think this is called a Dischidia parasitica, and it has some pretty good growth happening as well. It's taken a little bit more time to adjust to the cabinet because as soon as I brought it home, I basically just put it in this cabinet, and I have no idea what the conditions were when I brought it home. But then I have my Hoya Nummlia, and it is loving this cabinet. I got it at the same time as the Parasitica, and it's already given me a few new leaves and a new vine. So I think this is just the cutest little Hoya. If you guys don't have it, I do recommend the Hoya Nummlia, if that's how you say it. And then my Hoya Viola is popping the heck off, and it keeps trying to wrap around all of the bars and the lights in here, and I have to keep removing the vine, so I definitely need to get it a trellis, but it is just stunning. I love this Hoya. It's so cute, and I'm so happy that it's giving me so many new leaves. I also moved my Hoya Obovata intervariegated in here, and it's doing quite well. It was getting way too much sun on the shelves in my south-facing window, so I decided to move it, and eventually I'll figure out something else to do with it. But as you can see, like all those red marks and stuff, I think that was sun damage, and I really wanted to get it out of that window, and now it's doing so well. It's not like it wasn't doing well in that window, but it wasn't doing the best I thought it could do. And so I can't wait to see how it adjusts even more to this cabinet. And then we have my Hoya Kamuki, and I don't think that it's currently doing anything. I also need to get this guy a trellis and maybe do a little choppy chop to promote some growth, but we shall see. And then last but not least, I did this yesterday. I made this little Dischidia bark thing, and I had these million hearts in a prop box with moss for a very long time, and I knew I wanted to mount them, and I finally went and got a piece of cork bark yesterday and put some moss on it, and then I added this, I think it's a Dischidia Nummlia cutting to it as well, just for a little additional texture, the rounder leaves, and then I have my million hearts, and I hope that this grows in nicely. I think it'll be cool if it's just like consumed with Dischidia, but it may not, and then we will adjust it if I need to, if I want to pot it up into some soil instead. But I just thought it would be a fun little project. That is all that's on my third shelf, and the bottom shelf is really just a hodgepodge of cuttings that I have that I'm going to be trading and other random things. So down here, these are all cuttings that I'm giving to a friend who I wanted to share some Hoya love with, and I recently put them into soil. I wanted to transition them into soil for her, so when I ship them, they're going to be stable in soil and not just freshly put into soil. So these have been in here for a couple of days, and I'm going to just let them sit for a while longer. Here I have my Florida Ghost cutting. It is giving me a new growth point. It's loving this cabinet. I'm so glad I moved it in here. Honestly, I've had this cutting for so long. I took it from my mother plant and then sold my mother plant because I wasn't loving it. So I'm surprised it's still alive. I gotta be completely honest with you, but it is, and we're getting new growth. So I'm very excited about that. I also put my Hoya Paul Shirley in here, and I just put this in here recently. I think I'm going to chop this one up eventually because it's not looking great, but it is what it is. I have my Hoya Fungi down here, and it's popping some new leaves. It's very cute. And then back here, if you can see all those growth points on that wet stick, this is my Hoya Burley Marks. And the leaf is down here somewhere, the original leaf, if you can see that. It's just hiding a little bit, but there's so many growth points now. So this cabinet has done it so well. I also thought that this one was going to be a goner because I've had the cutting for so long, but it seems pretty happy. And last but not least, I have my philodendron pink princess in here, and it is as happy as it's ever been. Oh my goodness, I don't have a problem with stuck leaves anymore, which was the biggest thing that was causing me to hate this philodendron, but it is doing very well. This is a new leaf right here that it's giving me, and then this one, and it's already popping out this one and another one there. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way everything is responding to the cabinet. So let me step back again and give you a little overview of the cabinet here. I just love my little planty sanctuary here. On top, I just have my heartleaf philodendron and then some stuff I need to put away. But yeah, it looks so good next to my shelves here, I think. And then it gets the additional light from the shelves as well. So I like that these aren't super close to the lights. So I think that once everything starts acclimating like I said, I want to get some shelves as well so I can move even more Hoya in here. Eventually, it'd be really cool to have a ton of Hoya in here. And then, you know, I like my Hoya out here as well. They're doing fine, but the cabinet was, I thought I never won it. So I thought you guys might want to talk to my face. I was just saying, I never thought that I wanted to get a greenhouse cabinet, even though like the pressure of it seemed to be there. Like everybody had one and I needed one too, that type of thing. Just kind of like how I ended up with all of these Hoya. But I love my Hoya, don't get me wrong. But I never thought that I needed a greenhouse cabinet. But then I was searching on Facebook Marketplace and I saw it, and it's a small one and I knew it would fit here. And I was looking for something to put here, like another shelf system. And this just happened to be the thing that I decided on. And I'm really glad I did, because it really has helped my Hoya a lot. I had a friend on Instagram reach out and she was like, oh, I have one of those too, you're gonna love it. And she's right. She said that all her Hoya started really taking off when she put them in there. She also does not have hers weather stripped, so I don't think that you need to do weather stripping. I think I do want to get a fan to put in there perhaps. Uncertain on that though, because like I said, I only have the one plug, so it's like a whole thing. I do need to take care of the fungus gnat issue that I have going on right now, but that will be under control eventually. And overall, if you guys are looking into getting a cabinet for your plants, I do think it's worth it. Like I said, and I have my philodendron pink princess in there, and she's doing better than ever as well. So I think if you do more than just Hoya, that you would have good luck with this. Now, I will point out that I live in the Midwest. I live in Southern Indiana, and it is very humid here throughout the summers, so I don't feel like I need to do weather stripping. Now, I do have my air conditioning vent right above it, so I notice when my air conditioning kicks on, the humidity does go down in the cabinet. So that would be one reason why I may consider doing some weather stripping, but I don't feel the need to, because my house humidity does stay pretty high on its own. I think outside of the cabinet, it's between like 50, like stable 50, if not higher. So that's just my house conditions, my conditions of where I live. If you live in a drier place, you would definitely probably want to do some weather stripping and maybe add a humidifier, but I don't feel the need to do that. Currently, we are at 70 humidity since I've shut the door back up. If I take a shower, it goes up even higher because my bathroom is right over there. But that is my IKEA greenhouse cabinet tour. I know it was short and sweet. Like I said, I do want to do some updating to it as far as getting some more shelves and maybe even replacing these or putting some grids behind it or something. I don't know. I'm going to watch some videos and see what other people have done to this cabinet and see what I can do. And I can't wait to take you guys on that journey with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on which Hoya was your favorite in the cabinet and that you can't wait to see grow. Also, leave some tips and tricks for greenhouse cabinets if you guys have any, and subscribe to my channel for more random content. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!